Lieutenant Maya Rodriguez sat in the back of Xenobiology 301, her head down, scribbling notes that anyone else would have dismissed as the work of an average student. She wore oversized hoodies, avoided eye contact, and never raised her hand. To her classmates at the Interstellar Academy, she was forgettable, just another human trying to keep up in a galaxy that had left Earth behind. The other species didn't hide their superiority. The Kresh, with their 4 arms and crystalline exoskeletons, dominated the combat simulations. The Velhari, telepathic and graceful, aced every tactical examination without breaking a sweat. The Drachner, massive reptilian warriors, sneered at the handful of humans scattered throughout the academy. Humans, Professor Zelthar would often say, his mandibles clicking with amusement, are adequate support personnel. Your creativity is charming. But the galaxy's real defenders come from stronger stock. Maya never argued. She just kept her head down. That changed on a cold morning in late November when Professor Zelthar announced a special lecture. Today, he declared, his compound eyes gleaming, we'll analyze actual combat footage from the Void War. The classified files have finally been declassified. The lights dimmed. The holographic display flickered to life, showing the designation, Battle of Proxima Station, recorded feed, Sergeant M. Rodriguez, Human Special Operations. Maya's blood ran cold. The recording began with chaos. Proxima Station, humanity's furthest military outpost, was under siege by the Exathorn swarm, a nightmare species that had devastated 17 civilizations. The other species had deemed the station indefensible and retreated, leaving only a skeleton crew of humans. The feed showed a soldier's perspective, helmet camera recording every detail. 20 Exathorn warriors, each 3 meters tall with razor-sharp appendages and acidic blood, had breached the main corridor. Smoke filled the air. Emergency lights bathed everything in red. Fall back. Fall back, someone screamed. Then a calm voice cut through the chaos. Negative. I'll hold this position. Maya recognized her own voice from 3 years ago. In the classroom, several students glanced at the quiet girl in the back row. She had pulled her hood up, face hidden. On screen, the soldier, Sergeant Rodriguez, stepped into the corridor alone. She carried a standard-issue plasma rifle, nothing special. 20 against 1. The Exathorn charged. What happened next made the entire classroom fall silent. Rodriguez didn't retreat. She moved forward, her movements impossibly fluid. The first Exathorn lunged, she sidestepped, fired 3 shots that severed its leg joints, then used its falling body as a shield against the acid spray from the second. She rolled, came up firing, and took down 2 more before they could react. Impossible, whispered Kresh student named Thorak. Human reaction times aren't. Quiet. Professor Zelthar snapped, his attention locked on the screen. Rodriguez fought like something beyond human. She calculated angles that shouldn't have been possible, predicted movements before they happened, and used the Exathorn's own momentum against them. When her rifle overheated, she drew a combat knife and moved in close, turning the corridor into a graveyard. But the most shocking moment came when an Exathorn managed to slash her shoulder, tearing through her armor. Instead of crying out, Rodriguez grabbed the creature's appendage, broke it at the joint, and used the sharp end to kill the next 2 attackers. The feed showed her heart rate monitor, 72 beats per minute. Completely calm. 11 minutes later, all 20 Exathorn lay dead. Rodriguez stood among the bodies, breathing steadily, and said into her calm, Corridor 7 secured. Proceeding to engineering. The recording ended. The lights came up. Every eye in the classroom turned to Maya Rodriguez, who was trying very hard to become invisible in her seat. Professor Zelthar's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of profound confusion among his species. That combat efficiency rating exceeds anything in our databases. The Galactic Council calculated that engagement had a 0.003% survival probability. Thorak, the Kresh warrior who had mocked humanity just last week, spoke quietly. I've trained my entire life. I couldn't do half of what she did. A Velhari student, Lissa, whose telepathic race prided themselves on tactical superiority, asked the question everyone was thinking, how? How did you hide this? Maya finally looked up, pushing back her hood. Her expression was tired, like she'd been carrying a heavy weight. Because every time humans show what we can really do, the galaxy gets scared. They don't want equals, they want us to stay in our place. She stood, gathering her things. After Proxima Station, they offered me medals, honors, a teaching position at the Tactical Academy. I turned it all down. Because I've seen what happens to humans who excel. We get dissected, studied, regulated. They pass laws limiting our military service, questioning our unpredictable nature. Professor Zelthar started to speak, but Maya cut him off. For 3 years, I've watched you teach that humans are adequate. That we're support personnel. And I never corrected you because I wanted to finish my degree in peace. She headed for the door, then paused. But here's the truth, Professor, every human you've dismissed has had to hold back. We don't survive by being the strongest or the smartest, we survive by being underestimated. She left the classroom in stunned silence. That evening, Maya's comm device exploded with messages. Apologies. Questions. Interview requests. She ignored them all except one, a message from Admiral James Patterson of Earth's Defense Fleet. We need more like you, Sergeant. When you're ready to stop hiding, we'll be waiting. Maya smiled slightly, looking up at the stars through her dorm window. She'd finish her degree first. Then maybe, just maybe, she'd show the galaxy what humanity could really do when they stopped pretending to be less than they were. The universe wasn't ready. But it would be.